Hey, it's Crystal. Good to see you again. So, if you want more clarity in your business or in your life, you need to start acting more like a toddler. Okay, stay with me. Here's what I've been thinking about. Toddlers ask why about everything, and frankly, it drives us nuts, but I think they're onto something. And as adults, I think we stop asking why way too soon. We set goals like, I want to grow my business. I want to be healthier. I want to lose weight. I want to be more productive. But all of those things are just surface level goals. And it's hard to operate on surface level goals because you don't have clarity. You lose motivation, you start spinning, you get confused about what to do next, and you don't know if you're making progress. So the reason is because you're not actually connected to what's underneath the surface. So here's what we need to do instead: act more like a toddler. Okay. Ask why. Ask why over and over and over again until you hit the underlying answer. Ask until you drive yourself nuts, just like your toddler would. And the true answer is not going to be polished. It's not going to be logical necessarily, but it's going to be there. And it doesn't take too long once you get the hang of it and you can really challenge yourself to think under the surface. So let's take a simple goal. I want to get more healthy. Okay, why? Well, I want to have more energy. Okay, why? So that I'm not super exhausted after work. Okay, why? Well, so I can actually be present with my family and keep my house clean and keep up with my friends. Okay, well, why does that matter? Well, because I am tired of only having energy for work and I want more time to be engaged with my family, be more present as a parent, and be a better friend. All right, there it is. That's the shift, right? That's the underlying thing. So it's not necessarily about getting more healthy, or it's about being able to be present, being able to be authentic with your friends, with your family, and having the energy to do that, right? You don't necessarily have to lose weight or drink more greens or drink more water to have that happen. The goal was never about working out, it was never about losing weight, it was always about being present. And so when you really understand the underlying intensity, the underlying through line of what it is that you're trying to accomplish, that's when everything begins to change, right? Because now your actions can be more aligned with the things that actually matter, that you're actually trying to get. And that is where consistency, follow through, excitement, passion, that's what it all is stemming from. Because no longer are you just chasing a goal that you created because it sounded good or because it's something that can be measured, right? Losing 5 pounds, sure, that can be measured. We want that. But it wasn't the driving factor, so it doesn't have real purpose in your life. Having purpose and seeing clearly what is underlying is what is going to create your follow through. So the next time you set a goal, pause and ask yourself if you really know why this matters. Then ask why. Again, 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 until you don't go any deeper, until you really get to the crux, the root of that question, of that goal, of that outcome. Because clarity doesn't just come from better goals, it comes from better goals with a better understanding of why, of what the driving force is behind it. So ask why more times than feels necessary, more times than feels comfortable, more times than your toddler might. Ooh, that's where the real answers are, right? And if you want help getting to that level of clarity, that's the work that I do with my cohorts. And I would love to spend some time asking you why to get underneath the surface. Because as I always say, clarity loves company. I'll see you soon.